No, that's not what I said. What I said was, and like you say, yes, I mentioned programming. Um, what I said was that I am not a fanatic. I think I said about conspiracy theories. Okay, um, I believe I said that a conspiracy is a couple people sitting in a room manipulating and deciding to do evil on others. I don't. I'm not a fanatic about conspiracy theory. Let me explain something. Okay. Um, most people that were raised with lots of love, with a great family, uh, since they were children, it's very difficult to think that a whole bunch of men, now a few women, uh, and can sit at a table and over a cup of coffee and plan something something evil, even wars. Okay, so it's very difficult. I grew up in a very loving family, and I didn't see my parents a lot, and perhaps I would be just like everybody else that does not believe of some of these things that goes on in the world. But my parents, even though they worked very hard, I saw them. But I have a wonderful sister, which was more the one who educated me, and she was a hippie, and so uh, her mind was expanded, and not from drugs or anything, but and I saw it. I mean, John Lennon was my fan, and I grew up in the civil rights movement. But anyways, even though my parents did not have much time for me, uh, they were refugee parents. I mean, one side of the family was victim of fascist dictatorship. The other side, well, fascist dictatorship, and then after that fascist dictatorship, escape from a fascist dictatorship, and then a communist regime, um, and then the other family from a communist country. So refugees know because they've lived under tyranny and a society of visible deception of firing squads in front of their homes and visible stuff, not manipulating stuff, not all this. So you, so I wasn't, even though I was loved, come from a loving family, I do, and in my life experiences after, I know that that people do sit at a table and plan things to hurt others. But what I think I said maybe was theory. I don't believe in theory. Okay, and that I can explain too. Okay, because see, you have to understand social engineering. If you guys can Google that, Google or go on different sites. In fact, all those sites are social engineers. They practice social engineering. You'll understand. And it's important for everybody to understand at this point in the stage and what we're suffering in the world right now. If we want to fix it, you have to study and understand social engineering. But theory, let's just okay, theory. I grew up and JFK was assassinated. JFK, Robert F.K., RFK, MLK, and Malcolm X. And and they would ask me to in school the few times when the recessions, that's 5 7 year cycle, and my parents could not afford private school for me because they tried to do the best for me, and that's why they worked so hard. But when that's why, as a kid, I knew what recessions were because they would yank me out of the private school and put me in the public schools. The the Catholic school was a nun a nun school, and uh, they don't you don't play with Northern Ireland nuns, so they wouldn't make me hide under a stupid flimsy desk when the siren went on, and during the Cold War, and I would tell my friends, "Are you crazy? Yeah, I think we're being fooled, guys. Let's go out and play. Forget sitting under that flimsy desk because you don't you see the commercials and they do a bomb all the time, and everything gets wiped out, and everything turns to dust. You think a flimsy desk is going to protect? So you know, and then I had uncles, that would tell me, no, that's all propaganda, and don't pay attention to that. It's manipulative. So I grew up with that base and knowing those things. So I wouldn't believe in all the talk that's going on now, and I don't believe it until now. Most of the maybe okay. Let's say just say 1 in 1,000 or 1 in 1,000,000. The rest is just sick people making stuff up, or they're just like totally ignorant to the realities. I respect them. Everybody should question everything, everything, because there is such a there's a science. It's called, like I said, social engineering, and it's so look it up, and I would say research social engineering, and I work with young people and from all around the world, and I've learned a lot from them actually. And then I remember there was one, and I always ask, "What are you studying?" And then they would ask me after the lectures, "What do you think I should do if you're saying that this is going to happen with the economy? I'm studying marketing and this and that." And then I would give them advice, but I learned a lot with them. So I remember one. I asked him what he was studying. He said he had a PhD in rhetoric. I said, I had to laugh, and I'm sorry. I laugh when I don't want to cry. Okay, perhaps I'm transmitting because I laugh. I have to laugh at some of these things. So I said rhetoric. And you studied how many years? And I forget how many years he said, and I never knew that was a major, even a bachelor's in science degree. The poor kid. I was laughing and laughing. Then I asked him, "Okay, what is rhetoric? What are you gonna be when you grow up, man?" And he said, "Well, I'm gonna. It's the science of persuasion, of persuading others of what to do, and I could be like I want to be a speechwriter, So that's why. I mean, anybody that works with a prompter or with a script, I don't, I can't do that, because that's not honest. That's you're a speech. Some guy writes a speech for you, so I'm not particular. I don't like any American presidents because that system is corrupt. Any president in the world, so because everybody's corporate backed. There's very few. There is no democracy really, but I had to laugh and listen to that. And I started thinking, wow, they got that university. Now, I went to like 4 universities, didn't graduate from any of them because I just didn't follow any curriculum. I just went and did the classes that I was interested in: history, psychology, neurolinguistic programming, did in University of California, which is neurolinguistic program is something that people have to laugh at too. But that's for also for learning reasons, and it's not for brainwashing. And never, I mean, I looked because I was confused as anybody else. Although the other universities were later in my life. So I remember looking at all the curriculums of all those universities, and I never saw rhetoric there. Okay, so that must be something really new. Okay, so think about it. If they're teaching people rhetoric, the power of persuasion, the science of persuasion, then you have to be a little a suspect and understand that we're living in a manipulative world, an illusion, really. If you really think about it, I see the world as an illusion. People that had a good childhood and a loving childhood may not see it that way, but they may have not ever traveled or seen the things that I saw, that I've seen. So, and you know what? We have already suffered. We've already been through a reset. Okay? So none of this is, I'm not worried about any of this. First of all, I've been expecting it. Okay? But we've already suffered resets. Okay? And they were decided by groups of people. And one of them, I'll give you an example. Okay, this is a developing country. So, right here in this area, the the parents, the parents of people my age or even younger, were in a small family farm, and I've seen them, and you see them still working sometimes. These General Electric refrigerators, they weigh like a ton. They have so much steel in them. They're not like the ones today. And they weigh like a ton. And General Electric, and they still work. Okay. So what happened is that we were reset after World War II, maybe, I don't know, in the 50s or something. Corporations making money and this and that, but the stockholders, you need to grow. You need to have more sales. Remember what I said, you need to have more sales. So the the directors or whoever, probably didn't have that name there, the marketing experts, or like they came up with rebranding. But when a product doesn't sell a lot, when the factories, when the gears aren't rolling, they have to roll. They have to roll all the time. It can't stop. Capitalism cannot stop. So we suffered planned obsolescence, something called planned obsolescence. They decided, especially General Electric is so corrupt. That refrigerator that we're selling so many to Latin America and to here to the U.S. and selling around the world, it's too good. It's our assembly line ain't moving. So they came up with planned obsolescence. That's why today it is getting worse and worse and worse. That's why today a phone only lasts you a year. That's why an iPad only lasts you so much. That's why cars. I just got a VW Bug. It's the best vehicle for this type of territory. It's the only good thing that Hitler did was invent the people's car, he called it. And it goes over mud, it goes up hills. It's the best car in the world, and it's got a lot of metal in it, just like a General Electric. Okay, so and it's like 50 years old. Okay, so anything good that lasts too long, we were already brainwashed through planned obsolescence, and uh, that's why. But let's talk about theory, okay? Because I was saying about the JFK assassination. What happened is that theory is a word, just like what I was saying about phrases. Theory is a word that was created probably by, they say, by a three-letter agency in the U.S. On or about. It may have been after the Pentagon Papers, because the Vietnam War was a conspiracy that was proven. But they started with rhetoric, okay, to 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 say theory a lot. Conspiracy, someone mentions conspiracy, theory. Conspiracy, theory. That's neurolinguistic programming also, theory. So it was invented when all these bad state-sponsored bad things going on. They invented the word theory. So theory throws people off. Theory creates doubt in the human brain. So I don't. My brain is open, and I'm open, but I prefer not only my brain. Like I said before, I prefer my senses and vibration, energy vibration. Be near there. So be near the, the 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 crime scene. The crime scene. You know, you got these police, or they've got police that are like psychic practically, because they've had so much practice, and they go to a crime scene and they put together how the murder worked just on instinct, because he's around that energy too. He's around the vibration. Okay, so that's my that is my position when it comes to conspiracies. Okay, uh, I'm just not an overall fanatic about it.